Hello, everyone. Welcome to This is the Road Trip on DWTT. I am your trip organizer, and I'm sitting with King Kai, whatever that means.
Not King Guy. No.
Spencer, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Looking forward to tonight. Let's have some fun.
Cool. And oh yeah, 11:30. That's right. It's we have moved our clocks ahead, and I guess you will catch up when you're ready, when you're good and ready. But for now, you can watch these games a little bit earlier. Or watch these games. You can hang out with us a little bit earlier, Mr. Tom. I assume he's joining us. We shall see. And also joining us is Sam. It says it's sexy time. All right. Yep, something like that. But as the title of the show says, 3 points and top of the table. We did what we needed to do. We got the 3 points out on the top of the table and watched what happened. And guess what happened? What we wanted. Guess what happened? Controversy, VAR decisions, non-calls, calls, all going our rivals and some of our rivals not the way they wanted. But at the end of the day, we're sitting at the top. You know, you shouldn't put the game, as I always say, in the hands of the officials, right? If you do, you're just gonna get what they're gonna give you. So Spencer, talk to me. I guess, well, you know what? Before you go, I'll say hello to we got Lonzo's joined us. Lonzo, welcome to the show.
Hello, how you guys doing today? Spencer and Gary.
What's going on, man?
Doing good. And Spencer, talk to me. Tell me, I just gave my little spiel about the game.
It was a rather interesting Saturday. Italy defeated Scotland, and then Ireland. England got a surprise win over Ireland in the rugby with a drop goal at the end of the game, and then of course Arsenal found a way to, I guess, put us on edge for a little bit until Ben White had a beautiful cross to Kai Havertz to put it in the back of the net. It was just a little stressful day. You know, poor Ramsdale. I'm sure we're going to get to him. I was really feeling for him at the moment, but I had different thoughts. One of my first thoughts is like, well, this is why we're moving on. Little things like this. And then, at least if that's his last impression for, Arsenal, he had a couple critical saves in the game that, hey, it may or may not have an impact on us winning the title. But needless to say, got the 3 points. But, this team is relentless. They don't quit. They keep going. They keep attacking. And, props to Brentford. I mean, they gave it to us, and, we found a way to win. And then Liverpool and City on Sunday found a way to both lose 2 points apiece. So,
Very, very true. And no, you're right. And we'll get into all the players and stuff like that. Lonzo, tell me a little bit about the I guess what you how you thought about the game.
So I watched the game on replay. Unfortunately, I was at work, but yeah, I mean, I think there's those kind of wins that we don't need. Oh, sorry. Sometimes Arsenal leave it too late, and that's not a bad thing or a good thing. But to get a win like that, and the way that Kai Havertz kind of redeemed himself, I know he had a missed chance there in the first half to make it 2-0, and then him to come out with the match winner was pretty well done for him. I think we all can agree that it just takes time for him to catch on. I think the way he's turned it around has been pretty impressive. But I'm sure we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I think this is a one of those matches that could have gone either way. I think Ramsdale had made some may give that goal, but then he redeemed himself by giving up some good saves. It kind of shows you, he does have quality. I think the way he got those saves in, saved the game for us, for Arsenal rather. And there's a lot of good things to talk about, I'm sure. But the way this team performed under pressure, being a tight game, the referee could have won that game. But this squeaked it out.
Just, yep. You know what? I think going into this game. We'll say hello to everybody who just joined as well. AFC always welcome to the show. Yeah, Ramsdale. I don't Matt's fixated. If he was actually planning to do that, he made it look really like a oops there. But yeah, we'll get into Ramsdale as we talk about all the players. Biggs Gunners joined us. Welcome to the show. Um, I think that game is probably exactly what it was supposed to be. I think we had won 7 in a row, scoring at least scoring, you know, 5 goals in the game. So we were bound to have one of those games, and it just happened to be this one. I still feel like as long as we we don't lose too much in terms of our form, we'll be all right. We're going to have to be as good as we were in those other games in terms of what we do, and it's going to be a tough one. The next one we have tomorrow, so we're going to have to play like we did, and hopefully not wait till late. That's for sure. I don't want to have any. I don't like my heart pounding, waiting for it to see what's going to happen. Let's get that first goal early, and then try to close things out. But yeah, now that game I think is probably just how the seasons go in the Premier League. You don't get if it was easy to beat people 4 and 5 by 4 and 5 goals, it would happen all the time. It doesn't. So that's why I believe it was a really good string of games. Arsenal was the way they were performing. So we saw what happens. You see all these games. Liverpool's playing down. Who knows how many players, and they still able to draw against City, who had pretty much all their players. So you got to the games aren't scripted; they just happen when they happen. So that's kind of how I feel. But we needed to win these types of games, and we did. And we don't know where our goal is going to come from, and that's the one thing nobody knows, and that's a good thing for us. And so let's get into it. Talk about our players. We'll start from the back. Start from the back, as always says here. We'll start from the back. Our goalkeeper coming in. We knew we were going to have to play Ramsdale. We know he's. Everybody wanted to see him have a good game. One, it helps him. One, it will help us, and maybe it'll make the team some money as well if he has a good showing. He tried not to do that with one of his touches, but after that, I did the watch along for that, and I basically said after that mistake, he's going to have to redeem himself. That's all that matters now, and he did that. So if you look at the game as a whole, it was perfect. All right, that's what you want. He saved goals that would have put the other team ahead. He might have created one himself, but that's always a mistake when there's a goal. So look at it that way. But Ramsdale, yeah, if that's his last game, I think he ended up finishing up well. And if it helps us get a trophy at the end, he'll be part of that. He's been part of it anyways, whether he's been playing or not. I think he's been a team player to some degree. So there you go. And Spencer Ramsdale, yeah, talk to me about Ramsdale.
Yeah, I went through a litany of emotions with him. I felt bad for him. I didn't feel bad for him. I kind of felt like, hey, this is kind of who you are. Good goalkeeper. It's got a mistake in him. Hadn't played there's just a litany of things. And I was really glad that we ended up winning the game, obviously, because I want to split the 3 points. But so we didn't have to hear about the Raya Ramsdale argument. We still probably heard it a little bit, but the result went in a way where you could kind of just ignore it and bring it up to Rust. I mean, it's very unfortunate, man. He's been so good at times that then he just has these moments where the other Brentford game, there was a bad moment where a goal was given in based on a turnover. So, I mean, look at last year with Southampton, 3-3. One of the first turnovers in the first minute of the game was based on a Ramsdale error. So, as much as I'm digging him out here, I still think he's done a lot of good for us. And for it to end the way it did with the 3 points, with the win, with Kai Havertz, who's been another potential controversial subject, right? So Ramsdale Raya is a controversial subject, and Raya Ramsdale. For it to end the way it did, and he kind of gets sent right, he's at home, he gets his send off. I'm kind of willing to kind of just forget it And now here's the thing I'll bring up here. This is also kind of a subject point too. Ortega's in now probably for the City game, and then we don't know how long until Allison comes back. So we could need Ramsdale at the end too, just like they do. So just kind of glad it ended the way it did, because it could have been it just would have been annoying to hear that for, I mean, obviously we have a game tomorrow, so you win tomorrow, no one cares, right? But yeah, we could be having a completely different conversation tonight, and I think we're fortunate it turned out the way it did.
No, for sure. But you know what? People are going to say it's been a little bit of rust and a little bit of that's what he does. So I think we got everything from Ramsdale in one game, right? We got the good, the bad, the ugly, as they say, but we still got the win. So, cool. And before we continue on with Lonzo's review, we're going to say hello to the silver one, or I call him El Jefe. Welcome to the show from the Armory TV. He has a concentration issue. It's evident. Can't take. Okay, yeah. I don't know. Everybody's going. Yeah, Lonzo, you look like everybody, dude. I'm sorry, but that's just what happens. Yeah. And the Arsenal Misfit. Yeah. Welcome to the show. So, Lonzo, talk to me about Ramsdale. Oops, before I forget. Oh, wait, I'll wait for him to finish eating and then we'll bring him on. Well, go ahead, Lonzo.
It's funny because, I was on Arsenal Fan Circle on Ray's podcast. When I could, I had a bad headache yesterday and couldn't really function. Unfortunately, I'd like to have stayed on longer. But yeah, I mean, to talk about, the argument always be there, right, Gary and Spencer, on how, improperly Ramsdale have been used this year. It's been disappointing for me. I really like Ramsdale on this current Arsenal squad. Not current, but before last year. He, I know there's a big argument issue about how he could have been better or how many saves he could have gotten in the stats and all that. But, to me, I honestly thought that, before Arteta signed Raya, is like, Ramsdale had a good future here. I know he has his preferences, and I know he tried to sign Raya before we got Ramsdale. So, there's a lot of controversy there, and I'm wondering why we got as in goal. But, I think Ramsdale still has quality. I still think he'd be a good goalkeeper, whether it be here or, not here, but Arsenal and or elsewhere. So whoever's getting him next year, whether he decides to leave, is getting really, really good goalkeeper. Like Saliba has said, everyone makes mistakes, and but not everyone makes good saves like Ramsdale does. That's just my opinion. And he made some good saves yesterday, Saturday. So you got to give a guy benefit of the doubt sometimes, and he hasn't played in a very long time, so he didn't do that bad. Got in here of a really sloppy goal, but it happens sometimes, and he, I think, redeemed himself very well. So yeah, I'm very impressed about how he handled it and how he picked himself up, and I think he's been known to do that in the past as well. So he had a good game. I thought that like I said, everyone makes mistakes, but he made it right.
Yep, he definitely did. And I guess we'll see if he makes it right, but we'll have him join anyways. Mr. Tom, welcome to the show.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Spencer, you motherfucker.
Oh,
Sorry,
damn!
my language. What?
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, you know what? This is funny because
Alonso
no.
Alonso
This is what I was.
started this.
No. This
He
is what I was.
started the tone. He
No,
started
no,
the tone,
no.
flinging prick around.
I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I think all I saw was Taib said hello everyone, and then Mr. Tom's next comment is, and I was like, wow.
No, that's not true.
Wow.
That's not true.
No,
You need to go up a few. You need to go up a few.
StreamYard does not.
Hang on.
StreamYard
Sorry,
doesn't care.
You've overplayed your hand here. Sorry, because I have the technology to be able to show you that you son of a motherfucker, you fucker.
I had to.
No. So someone called me Borat, and I didn't like that very much. And then also the guy messed up my name, which I didn't like.
Who said that? Because I can't. I'll look through the comments. I couldn't see it. I mean, I
AFC always.
that would
Basic.
explain why I can't see it.
So, never mind.
Let me just go through this real quick to say, Taib joined us. Welcome to
Hi,
the
Taib.
show. Yes.
So Tom left a softball for me on a tee, and I just had to hit it.
I know
He
you
didn't show up.
did. He set you up. He gave you a sitter, and you put it home. Then he gets mad at you.
I don't know,
I
man.
didn't get mad at him.
You
I didn't
did.
get mad at him at
You
all.
did. That language sounds like a man who's not too happy with what just happened.
To be honest, I'm quite a sweary person. To be fair, so
No, you're not.
when I swear, it's a verb.
No, you're not. No.
Never
Thanks, we appreciate that, man.
Not on my show. Oh.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate
Anyway.
that.
Exactly, BX.
So if always is gone from the
sorry,
show.
Gary, while I was sat in the background eating this delicious spaghetti bolognese, by the way, to be fair, it is 11:30 here, and I've just got home from work. Hence why. You go fuck yourself as well, Mr. Wall.
So there you go. So yeah, so
With
this is how this show's gonna
dildo.
this is how this show's gonna go. Colonel Wall shows up
with the rustiest dildo in the world.
All right, I'm done.
God.
I'm done, man. Sorry.
Oh man.
I don't,
love
as
you,
we
Tom.
already established, I don't wear shorts on the trip. I don't wear anything on the trip apart from the top because I'm contractually obligated to.
No, you know what? One,
Anyway.
no. Two, no. All right.
One more thing, and I'll shut up and go back to eating my food. Right? You said to Alonso, and I quote, "Alonso, you look like a lot of people." Which the thought that entered my head was, you know what? You're right. You're right, Gary, because I actually think that Alonso looks like Eddie Murphy.
It's hot game.
Yeah.
Charlie Murphy!
Charlie Murphy.
You're funny, but not that funny. All right, let's move on. Mr. Tom's come up and derailed us enough. Let's move on. We got from the we just started on the goalkeeper, and then Mr. Tom comes in, and we're like 10 minutes lost. You know. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You think I'm funny? Funny, haha. Anyway, let's get into it. So now we talked about the goalkeeper. Like I said, he did redeem himself. Taib went after you, and I don't even understand why he went after you. It's probably because of your comment right after his. See, he took it the way it was laid out on the chat in the chat. So there you go. But let's get into it. That back line, the back line for me was really good, like it's always been. I don't think I have anything really negative to say about them at all. They do what they do, and teams struggle to get either looks at goal or whatever it is. They get nothing, no love there. They did it again. Of course, with our midfield that helps, but the back line's always there. And Tony got nothing. And once again, Tony met the I guess you call them either the Twin Towers, but Saliba and Gabriel don't play around. We've seen it with Haaland, and now Tony's gotten some of that medicine too, and was put to the ground as well. So that back line, I like it. So they did really well. Nothing bad to say about them, and also they contributed. Right? They're the reasons why we scored, but Ben White has been playing well. Continue to do that. So Lonzo, talk to me about that back line.
Yeah, I mean, it's really coming into its own. I think that they've played really well together, Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes. And I know someone likes to be talking in the past about how what if so-and-so was hurt and healthy, could have we won the title last year. But this is different. I think you see more confidence in both Saliba and Magalhaes, and also QBR. I think he's been a missing link, or not missing link, but really come on to his own as well, as far as covering for Zinchenko at the left back position, and Ben White's, and as advertised, it seems like I think he's being the right back that that we needed and wanted, and more. It seems like, yeah, granted, he's a little bit taller and the center back by trade, but he's really gotten forward a lot and really produced some great crosses for Rice and Havertz to score. So he got 2 assists, and I believe he was a man of the match. I didn't see who got it. Was it Ben White who got man of the match?
For me, he did. I don't know if that was official or not.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I know. Listen, I think Southgate has a real issue. I think coming to Euros, Ben White ought to be looked at right back. I think that he's coming to his own, and I think that whatever happened in World Cup 2 years ago, wherever it was, and I think that hopefully they can rectify it, and he could be a right back in England. But that's a different story. But yeah, I think this back line has been really, really good this year, and hopefully we could. Hopefully they don't let up. I think they're very strong. I think Arteta, fair play to them, fair play to him. He's kind of stuck by them, and you're seeing less and less mistakes by the back four because they've been solid. They've been together now for a very long time. With the exception of QVR, but I don't have a reason why he would get off at this point. So they're all drilling right now. They all know their place on the team. They all play their positions right, and yeah, I mean, they're just getting better. It seems like.
No, definitely, and we're only going to get healthy on that back line when Tomiyasu comes back, and Zinchenko's already on the bench, so that's a good thing for that as well. And Spencer, talk to me. Back line, I like it. It's probably one of our most, I guess it is, I would say, our most consistent line that we've got, a line of play that we have on our team. Not much you can say negative about it. Even we've had more injuries there than anywhere else on the pitch. And guess what? We've not seen a dip, of course, because Saliba and Gabriel, knock on wood, knocking really loud, play there.
I mean, that's the big reason I think the back line is so good is Gabriel and Saliba. I mean, Ben White's coming in his own, and the Euros. I mean, that's an England problem, but yeah, I mean, they started inverting the right back instead of the left back, and it's just worked because Kivior is a little bit more, I guess, a little defensively solid than Zinchenko is. So it allows you to. What I think when you have Kivior, Saliba, Gabriel, and Ben White, it allows the quality, right? Like I think Kivior might be a little bit better defender than Ben White. I just think Ben White's better on the ball going forward. He does do very well defensively, but Kivior is a center back by trade. You could argue that Ben White's kind of a DM, kind of a center back, can play right back. So he's got multi positions he can play. So it kind of the comfortability in midfield is more with Ben White than it is with Kivior if you're going to do the inversion tactic. But man, he's just been so good and so consistent. You can't really fault those guys in the back, right? And I was looking over the Ramsdale own goal incident with I think Wissa was his name, and he probably could have passed it straight across to Saliba, but I'm not going to dig Ramsdale any out anymore on that. I just don't think and I'm not bringing it back.
That was the play, though.
I know
that was That was the easiest play at that moment. So the reason why I know you're backing him up a little bit, but he has to know that Wizza is there. As a goalkeeper, you have to be aware of your surroundings. You have to know there's a threat coming because that's when you know the ball has to get out. So if he doesn't know, and we know he's not concentrating, then maybe that's what happened there.
Well, that's why we've moved on in the way we've moved on. I think I didn't get to say this earlier, but I think he brought us further along in the journey. He's just not that final peg, right? So, but that back line, man, so clutch, very reliable. The right now you could easily pick that back line. I know Tomiyasu, when he comes back, he brings a massive amount of quality, but he can play center back too. So I think we're very blessed. And you go back and look 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, Socrates, Mustafi, David Luiz. I mean, just look at the quality levels alone. I mean, this gives a massive recruitment credit to Edu and Cronkies and to Arteta for picking some of these guys and developing them. I mean, we've seen Saliba grow at this club. We've seen Gabriel grow at this club. If you're not excited about this back line, I mean, just to think, pay those two guys, right? Make sure that they don't get taken away from us or we can't, keep them from going. I think the Saudi thing has kind of cooled off a little bit. I think that might be dead this summer, but do whatever you can do to keep Gabriel and Saliba together because that's a championship winning back line for sure.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. No, you guys talking a little bit about I see AFC always. It's funny. I was just talking to him in Ryan's chat. I didn't realize as much that there is a bit of he brings a little bit of stuff onto himself and gets blocked for it. So
yeah.
So.
He's had beef with me. I don't block people. I don't really care. I mean, I look at it like this, guys. I'm gonna be fair. He doesn't even have a picture on his profile, so I don't know. It could be a kid for all I know I'm working with. So I'm not gonna sit there and dig him out. It could be a kid.
True. Yeah. But we move on. Mr. Tom, since you did watch the game, right? Because you always watch every Arsenal match. You just want to put the highlights on so you can say you watched it.
No, okay. I'm currently 39 seconds into the highlights. Give me a minute.
Oh my god! It's like, why do we bring him on here again? Can you tell us about your
Can you tell what bit I just saw?
Well, you mean the little oops on the back line there by the goalkeeper? Yeah.
Give me a second. Go watch the replay.
You don't have to. We don't have to hear it. We can't. We shouldn't hear it.
That's why I'm going to mute myself as I watch it.
Okay. Yeah. No. I get that errors are a thing. I get that. And like I said, he did redeem himself. So that's one of the things that you're looking for in your players as well. They might make a mistake, but then they turn around and you forget about it. I think we forget about it now, right? I mean, he did make a mistake in the first half, second half. We don't. It don't matter anymore. I mean, he made more than enough saves to erase the mistake. And even what is it? Saliba, I think it was, said they were talking. They asked him about it, and he said, "Look, I made 2 mistakes over the last number of games. My teammates still back me up. So that's what we want. That's what we need. And to tell you the truth, when somebody makes a mistake, somebody has to back him up, either the goalkeeper or one of his teammates. And we saw that, right? We saw that as far as the team went, they got not much out of us in that second half. So they did respond, and we've been looking for that from the team in a while. They did it in that game, and these are the types of tests that we need to finish off this season. BX in the house, yes. And Moss has joined us. As you guys know or don't know, Moss, right? It's still in London. I think you've seen a U19 game. If I'm creeping in his all his messages, saw the Arsenal match on the weekend, and we'll be there tomorrow to watch a big game. So, of course, as somebody says, which is the biggest game for Arsenal, and I keep saying it's the next one. It's the next biggest game. He's having some shawarma, and I don't think he spelt it right.
Shawarma.
No, but what's that second part? He's trying to say Donna, right?
Donna. I believe it's DONNER.
Okay, there you go. But Donna. Oh, U21. Sorry, yeah, U21s you watched. All right, there you go. So there's his itinerary, folks. It's a Champions League game. I can't wait to get to watch one of those myself. We are obsessed with chicken in the UK. All right. Yes. That's Yep. I hope we are moving on. Yep. And in Canada it's Donar.
Donna
All right.
Air.
So Mr. Tom, talk to me.
As in Donna Air.
Yeah. So Mr. Tom, talk to me.
The 90s.
You did watch you did watch the entire game in like a minute and a half. So tell me the back
I'm clearly
line.
qualified to talk about it. Clearly.
Yeah.
So, well, basically, I think it was a rather unfortunate moment following Arsenal's goal. I thought Ramsdale very unlucky. It's not often you see that happen to a top level goalkeeper. I just think I think it's rather unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, nine times out of 10, it doesn't
happen.
hit off.
99 times out of 100, it don't happen.
Doesn't hit off the defender like that and go straight in with no chance of getting a finger or a hand on it to steer it away. So, but it happened. It happened. All right.
His save was nice though, to redeem himself.
You know, he had the 2 saves he had. Very nice, very strong. And that's what, like I said, just when you got to shrug it off, right? And if any team's looking for a goalkeeper who can shrug off a mistake, they just saw it right there. So basically in one game and maybe his last game, he's shown what he can do. If he makes a mistake, or in a case, if there's a case where the team makes a mistake, he can back them up. And so there you go. So let's get into the midfield, which I think will be crucial for tomorrow. I'm a little concerned because Jorginho played. He did come out. I think he came out early, if I recall. Let's see, did he come out early? Was he the first one out? He came out. Yeah, he was the first one out. But I still feel like he's not getting a week's rest. We win every game when he plays, and most of the games he's played, he's had at least a week off. So this will be a short week. So the fact that we did see Partey, for me, is a little promising. Some people are saying, some people are saying Partey might start. I don't know about that, but the way that midfield played, I think on the weekend, very, very good. Martin Odegaard looked really solid. I think he's looked like that probably most of this season. I think the fact that we weren't finishing the chances he was providing and the buildup that he was providing, it was kind of case in point to why we struggled, and now we're doing that. So I don't think he's doing as anything different. He was always, for me, the leader on the press, and everything seems to be clicking, and he's part of that as well. So I think when I talk about a leader and a captain, they need to be there. I think the ways that he's there, at least for me right now, is definitely with the press. Some of his passing. At some point, I want him to be, I think he can score as well. Sometimes he's going to have to take that shot when we need it. And Declan Rice does what he does. Jorginho, once again, solid from him, I believe, whenever we have him. So hopefully he's good to go. He knows how these games go, and maybe his experience will see him through. So that's the midfield for me. So Spencer, talk to me. Kind of jumping around here, but that midfield.
Yeah, I mean, Odegaard, I think a lot of people have been unfair with him this year because I've heard a lot of people really dig him out and call him Portogard, Slowdegard, all sorts of just hot takes. I think he's one of the best in our team with the ball at his feet, just his movement, his pressing, like you said, like he leads the press. He does a lot of leadership stuff I've noticed a lot more this year. And I think you can get away with Jorginho starting tomorrow because you're going to have that 21-day break before City. And this is the knockout game. This is it. There is no tomorrow for the Champions League. So you got 70 minutes out of Jorginho on Saturday, so I think you could probably get a start out of him. It wouldn't shock me if he came on as a sub, but I think you want to start strong and try to put Porto away early. And if you kind of allow this game to stay 1-0 on aggregate, 1-1 on aggregate, that dark arts are going to Porto's going to push for the penalties and 50-50 to see what they can get. So it's going to be really critical. I think you got to go with your best midfield. I would do Jorginho, Rice, and Odegaard up there with you're going to hit me on this one, but I would do Jesus, Havertz, and Saka starting with Trossard being my wild card coming in because I think he's just excellent when he subs. But yeah, I mean, we could see Partey, but that's even then. If you talk about the holding midfield position, because Rice can play the 8, you can do Partey coming in and do 70 minutes from Jorginho and throw Partey on there to finish the game out. So, but Jorginho, what a steal for 12 million too. His passing, we've seen that really highlighted a lot recently, and I think it kind of it highlights what I really thought, that I think that Arteta's original plan was to have Rice play the 8 and have Partey and Jorginho rotate in the 6. So I think this summer, and just a slight prediction on my part, I think we'll find them buy another 6 in the summer, like an Onana or something like that. But yeah, what a great midfield. I mean, Odegaard, excellent class. We're seeing our players. They're starting to propel themselves into this world-class conversation, Gary. And we're watching a progression of a club that's going to be doing this for the next 4 or 5 years for sure.
For sure. I don't know if you guys can hear me. My screen just went blank. I don't know.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, cool. I don't know if you can see me, but
unfortunately, we can.
And I can't see you, Mr. Tom, so I am happy as a clam, as they say. There you go. Back at you.
Our clams happy.
Yes, they are. They are until you open the shell. Until you open them up, man. Then they're pissed. Then they're dead.
If someone talk to them, they might have been really comfortable watching like Arsenal.
I hear you.
I didn't get that right. Anyway,
we got it.
Yeah. So, since you're talking, Mr. Tom, that midfield for us is for me, once again, it's similar to our back line. We know what we have an answer for our midfield right now. If you say what's our starting midfield, I think this is it. How did they do in the game?
I found much of what Spencer said interesting.
That's good.
Most of it was correct. I would say that I think you should take the game on when is it Tuesday or Wednesday?
Tuesday,
right. So I think you should take tomorrow's game or later on, depending on your feelings on the fact that it's 8 minutes past midnight here. You should take the game ultra seriously, because if you don't, then you'll just be getting on with the business of re-qualifying for the Champions League again. So, and obviously we know you are going to be in it. I know that, but the point is you're already halfway through this year's one, so take it seriously. Because then you'll, as the old adage is, the sooner you're out of the Champions League, the sooner you can focus on qualifying for it again. It's a waste of time. Just get on with the job now.
So which portion did you disagree with?
Most of it, no, just general. I'm sitting like the lineups and stuff, and I'm just sitting there like, just fucking go out and beat them.
Oh, I agree with you. I just don't know what he's going to do.
Like, intend to beat Porto. Not we think this squad is good enough to beat Porto, but we've still got an eye on the weekend. Like, no, beat them now.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're right. I mean, I think that's 100% like, that's why with Liverpool, for example, everybody talks about the difficulty of doing a Thursday, the Europa League, the league. I mean, I think that's going to catch up to Liverpool eventually. But I mean, look at them. They're doing everything for Klopp right now, and they've got 4 or 5 people out of the lineup, and they still look the part. So it doesn't really matter who you throw out there, right? Just get the job done. So there's quality on Arsenal's bench to also help them get the job done too. We got people coming back. We should win tomorrow. But like you said, that is 100% accurate. Everybody, but here's the thing with that, Tom, that I want to pivot on is the money that people get from the Champions League. Sometimes clubs care more about getting that money than they do actually winning the trophy. What's your perception on that?
It's partly, because I think partly you have more chance of building a future team that can win the Champions League if you get the prize money for winning the Champions League.
Yeah,
it's astronomical, to my understanding. So you get a lot of money for winning it on Football Manager, let alone, and I assume it's not wholly accurate anymore.
Yep.
The prize money.
Well, I mean, I think Arsenal's shown, right. If you we got Champions League, we got Rice. So whatever the next thing is that gets us the next big player, that's what we should be doing. If that means winning a trophy, which I think it does, and that's the only thing we have left to do, then do that. So Alonso talked to me. We were talking about the midfield, but we're also talking about the championship and what it gets you. and what it can give you.
We haven't been in championship, I don't think ever, Gary. So I think leagues have more experience in championship than we do.
Yeah, but I want you.
Champions,
Go
I'm
ahead.
just joking. Yeah, Champions League, right? So I mean, did you get that, Tom?
Alonso, I'm thinking of a phrase, and
You know,
the initials are
see, this is what Lonzo does, man. He's your friend, and then next thing you know,
he'll turn on you.
I caught it.
He slaps that sign on your back that says "kick me."
Go fight yourself, Eddie Murphy.
You're like, why are people kicking me? I was like, hey, I don't know.
It's never good to have to explain your joke. That's never a good sign.
Go on, Lonzo. Talk to us.
Right. Like Sanchez say, getting Jorginho at that cheap for Chelsea. A lot of people question that move, but I think he adds a lot of quality. His passing is very, very good, and so to me, I would start him because he's been playing really well lately. And the way Arteta maybe sees Declan Rice as number 8, his versatility has been everything as advertised, right? So Jorginho brings that championship, aka Champions League experience with him, and he's played it really, really well. Hopefully, this is a test for Arsenal. They've never been in this position as far as this current squad. So this game was a test, being down 1-0, but 0-1. So they have enough to me to at least double that, maybe get 3 goals out of Porto. So yeah, I think Udegaard is going to be out for it. I believe. I think this is a challenge for him. This will be one of those check the box off the have a check mark in the box for him as far as can be him being a captain, get the boys ready for tomorrow's game and enough time to where they could be have confidence to overtake Porto at home. And Declan Rice, I think he's also up for it. Because he wants to make it. He wants to make an impact on this team with Champions League football. This is why. This is one reason why he signed for Arsenal, is because they're going to be in Europe, and again this year, next year as well. It looks like it. So all those signs point to this is going to be an experience for them, a challenge because they're down a goal. But I think they can overcome it. I think there's enough talent there with the back line and also the midfield. And with Jorginho's experience, that will come into play as well to calm the guys down.
Yeah, no, I hear you. No, I just had to look up one thing to just make sure I had my facts straight there. So before we played Porto the last time, Jorginho came in and played for about 20 minutes. Didn't start against Porto. So Arteta hopefully has learned that what, Jorginho is your midfielder if you're going strong. If you need to get something done, I think that was a tactical error by Arteta. Havertz in the midfield is not going to work, and if you're going to rest Jorginho, you should play him the next game. And he didn't do it, and I think we paid for it and could have used him. One, because of his experience, and two, because he is right now part of our best midfield. So, yeah. So we'll see how that works out. But yeah, that's how that went. I was just looking to see because I was like, I know he didn't start in Porto game, but did he start the one before? And he didn't. So we've gone through the midfield. Let's go to the front line. Trossard, Kai Havertz, and Saka. And once again, Arteta now is having to rely on different players that we never thought would be we knew could start for us, but in this game we needed them, and they provided what we needed. I think Saka was pretty quiet on the day. Pretty quiet on the day. He probably wanted more from him, but I think it was one of those types of games. Kai Havertz, as you know, he's always active. We're always saying his name for one thing or the other, and it's usually for me, which I don't like, around maybe getting a yellow card or getting a yellow card, right? So I think the first yellow was a little bit harsh, but the second one, I think you don't know what the referee's going to do. They don't usually give those yellows in the box like that. So he got lucky there. And Trossard, I think, another quiet day at top, but I think that's because of the way they defended us. For me, I think the front line, could have been better, but I think it was one of those types of games. The back three and all of that basically, made us struggle, and that's going to happen. But we'll see what happens on the next one. So, Mr. Tom, we'll start with you, and we'll go around because of all your expert tutelage in the 97 seconds of football that you did see from that front line.
I was less than that.
What say you? Okay.
Yeah, I skipped through most of the 3 minutes. Just wanted to watch the main action, obviously. No, in all seriousness, hang on, wait a second. There's something in the private chat. Wait, what?
Yeah, just move on. Just talk. Answer the question I gave you.
Yeah, it was more. No, it was because Gary was on, and I was like, I can see myself in this camera, and then I sort of got mesmerized by myself because I'm awesome, and then
you need to get your eyes checked.
Yeah, exactly. But that's true as well. I mean, two things together can be true, both true simultaneously. But in all seriousness, I was hearing things about forward lines, and I know BX has got his opinion on devastating forward line, but no one's actually named the most devastating forward line in football today, though. Come on, say it with me now. You all know the 4 names I'm about to say. You know
Nobody knows those names at all. Not
You're
one.
Gonna say, come on, Somerville,
No.
Ruter,
Never heard of him.
Patrick Bamford. Who would have thought
Definitely
I would have
not.
said that in 2024? Patrick Bamford, the renaissance of this man.
I don't know why I keep bringing this guy on my show.
It was genuinely magical. He actually, you could hear the pain in the commentator's voice. The co-commentator, the color analyst, as I believe they say in America, who used to play for Sheffield Wednesday. The pain in his voice when he had to describe why they conceded. It was like, because Bamford's great and Firpo made it happen. Anyway, what? Wait, what? What's that? Sorry, what? What's that? Sorry, Yorkshire Derby leads unbeaten in them this all season. Wait, what's that? Sorry, what? What's that? Sheffield Wednesday?
What's going on?
What's that? Sheffield?
Are you done?
You mean we've played 7 Yorkshire Derbies, not 1?
Are you done?
Lost any of them? We're still unbeaten at home in like 20 matches this season. What's that? It doesn't matter who you play against. You can't help who you put in front of. What's that? Yeah. Won them all. Like, not all of them, obviously. That's not factually true, but won like 17 of them, something like that. Like a couple of draws stuck in there. What's that?
He keeps talking about rambling on. He's rambling on, and nobody even cares what he has to say.
That's what they feel is fear, because they know they're gonna get fucked.
He's talking to himself. I don't think.
Gary, I rather hear Michael Jackson at this point.
No, you know. If that guy comes on this show, I'm muting him. Now he's getting blocked. That guy's gonna get blocked if he comes on my show. That's for sure. All right, are you done?
That's a low blow.
Are you done, Mr. Tom? Anything else?
Eddie wouldn't do that to us.
Anything else about our front line?
Your front line?
Yes, that's.
It's obviously very good, isn't it? And you almost don't need it because your midfield is so great.
See, this is Sam. Once in a while, you do come with a good suggestion. I like this one. Go on, smack yourself, Mr. Tom.
Jesus, Tom.
That's all.
Because my obsessive compulsive disorder means I have to do things in a symmetrical fashion.
All right, well, let's move on before Mr. Tom knocks himself out. So,
I didn't connect
so
that one as
Spencer,
fully as
talk
I
to
wanted.
me. That front line, I mean, it's not one of our most potent, at least the way it played out. It has been. We know we've been able to get stuff out of it before. How do you feel the front line did in the game?
Got the 3 points. That's all you can ask for. I got 2 goals.
Okay, I didn't ask you about the game. Let's stay focused. Focus. Tell me about that front line.
Well, what do you want to know about the wonderful world of Kai Havertz and Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, Leandro Trossard, Gabriel Jesus? What else do you want to know? And the Honorable Edward Nketiah. I mean,
What'd you say?
I went Edward. Yes, I went full Christian name.
Talking like a lawyer.
Okay. I mean, what do you want to know about them, Gary? They're excellent. They're clutch. They're reliable. Well, one of them's definitely always available.
For now.
Yeah,
Whoa!
In your fan base,
No,
it can soon change.
You take that back. You take that comment back now.
What is truly unreasonable of me to suggest that your fan base will turn him at the first and earliest opportunity. It was really unreasonable of me to suggest that.
Take it back.
Well,
I'm absolutely not taking it back.
He's got a point to an extent. We do have a lot.
No, Mr. Tom never has a point. Not in that one.
I'm just trying to play the lawyer game here, and we do have people in our fan base.
Sorry, it was rude of me to interrupt.
We have people in our fan base that'll turn on you like the wind, flag in the wind. So, they're people in our fan base that'll turn on you quicker than Roy Jennings changes his opinion after 2 YouTube videos. I had to go there. But our front line's good, man. I mean, I don't. Tomorrow, like I said, I would go Jesus at the left, Havertz in the middle, Saka on the right. Bring Trossard in if you need to, for a change of pace. I just really hate. You know what I really hate, Gary? Like, and I know you love Trossard starting. But when it doesn't work, it's like
Trossard deserves to start, and that's what I say all the time. Having him sit for as long as he has sat in the past, I don't like. I believe he's a player that can start for us, and when we notice it, because we see like the form drop, that's something you see before they hit the pitch. That's what I believe. So when they hit the pitch and they look out of form, for me, a lot of times I feel like that's something the manager should have seen and said, you know what, maybe today's Trossard's day. All right.
Yeah.
So for me, it's not that he should just start all the time. It's that he is a legitimate starter for us, and there are times when he should start, either for rest or for form, or because we got suspensions and injuries and stuff like that.
Are you going with him tomorrow?
I like the idea of Jesus playing, so that really doesn't give me too many options outside of what you said.
Yeah.
So Alonzo, talk to me about that front line.
Trossard, Saka, and Havertz, right? The current one, right?
Yeah, that's who played. Yep.
I think whenever you have, I think last year one of our issues was height, right? And could we hit the ball into the net sometimes, and we can never really get over bigger defenders, especially against Newcastle and other bigger center backs like that. So having a guy like physicality, like Kai Havertz and yesterday's game, Declan Rice, how they just dumped over defenders to get that header in, is quite impressive, actually. And we all know what Saka and Trossard can do. Trossard has been a good player for us when he starts that striker role, that striker position rather, number 9. So on their day, any 3 of them can be really productive and really, really in the zone, so to speak. So they all have qualities, all have strengths, but they all have weaknesses as well. However, yesterday was Kai Havertz. I think whenever you, like I said, have a height like Kai Havertz, he could both head the ball and has a good technique, like we saw last week. That he can strike the ball is really impressive to me. That he could overcome the problems at Chelsea, and I guess have the motivation and intent to at least get into the point of where he could at least score goal, had that confidence again to take a chance like that to head the ball in the net. And for Saka in that right side of the midfield, having Ben White invert and where he could cross and get more offensive really helps out the midfield, like Odegaard and Saka. I think Odegaard was on that play whenever Kai Havertz scored his first goal, the last goal of the game, rather, his goal. You saw Ben White giving a little touch pass to Odegaard, and Odegaard passed back to Ben White and crossed the ball into Kai Havertz. Kind of gives you the quality we needed last year. Had we had that quality, we probably had a couple more goals in us. But that's last year. This year, Kai Havertz has quality. We're heading the ball, and that's important because in the past we've also gotten bullied, and by defenders that are taller than us. So he has a lot more than what I guess Trezor can offer as a number 9 rather. So yeah, they all look good, and I hope that Arteta sticks with that front line, whether it be Trezor or Martinelli on the left. So yeah, very, very excited about the future of how Kai Havertz and Saka and the Martinelli and Trezor as a left wing position can do in the future.
Very, very, very true. And we're going to talk. We'll continue on, but the assembled has joined us, and of course, everybody loves Leeds, so he has to bring his Leeds comment in. So there you go. Welcome. Ray has also joined us. Saquon Barkley is going to the Eagles, which, as a Cowboys fan, I'm disappointed at. But that's for another day. Tiki said he's dead to him. Well, there you go. Anders has joined us. Welcome, Anders, to the show.
Yes. Oh, I'm glad Anders is here because I prepared something very special for him.
No. Keep your hands away
now
from
we
the
were
button.
talking about the greatest front four in
Keep
football.
your hands away from the button, please. Oh my gosh.
There you go. Look at that. Goals. That is out of 5, of course.
Turn it off.
10. Out of 10, it'd be really bad, but
hide that.
Okay.
Take it off.
There's no need to hide it.
Nobody wants to see that.
Goal. This is what I do on Sundays. Goal.
I don't want to hear this guy anymore. I just mute him. So the hair he's just
Go.
Oh God, please stop it. Make it stop, please. Ay. So yeah, no, you're right about that, Lonzo. That that play from Erdegaard and White, which ended up with the cross, really good. And I think that's kind of the things that I think Erdegaard can do if he has a willing participant. We're still showing this. Turn this crap off. Ay. This guy's upsetting me. What? What is he doing? Ay. But yeah, no, that was a really good set. Like, I could see. I have the show up over here, and I can see the stupid thing pop up again. But yeah, no, that was a good play there between, like I said, who would have thought that Ben White would be the one doing that. We've seen him score some really nice goals. He's scored some really good goals, volleys and whatnot. But now he's actually adding, some nice crosses into the mix. I mean, that cross to the middle of the pit, the middle of the goal, which then is run down by Rice. Very, very nice. And then the one for Havertz, once again, a very, very nice one. So Ben White's, he's shown he's got more to his game than just a tan. All right. Is Gary a Swiftie? I don't know what that means. Oh, I don't know about that. I think hopefully Henry's coming. We need a guy like that. But anyways, that's for another day.
Are you going to do a show for the draft?
Am I going to do a show for the draft? I don't know. I could. I like watching the draft.
Should. I won't be on it.
I like watching the draft. Should. It's on what day is it on? Thursday? And no, it might be hard to do it because it's probably on the same time as. Yeah, but it's on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the days for the draft. So it might be a little difficult since we'll have Ray's show be on. So yeah, maybe we'll bring it up during the show though. But so yeah, no, like I said, all in all, the players, we are, and it's funny now that you say that. You said that, Spencer.
Shouldn't do
We've
a
got
show on a
multiple players
Thursday,
who
in
can
my
play in that
opinion.
front line now, right? Hopefully Havertz is part of that. We know Trossard is there, Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus. I mean, that's what 5 players. So we have probably an abundance there that we can use. And then I don't know about Nelson and Kedia. I don't think they make the cut. Sorry.
I think Reese does. I don't know if Eddie does.
Well, if he does, then he doesn't, according to Arteta. That's you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't. Like, I want him to be there because I think he has something. Arteta doesn't see whatever we see, so he doesn't get any chances when he should.
I think Reese is getting the proper amount of minutes based on his role in the team.
No. When Emile Smith-Rowe has more minutes than Nelson, he doesn't have enough minutes to say that he's in Arteta's plans for that particular.
But you could make an argument ESR was more critical to this team than Nelson's been his whole time here. I mean, look at 2021.
Guy's been out for how long, and you don't have more minutes than him. And has he been injured this year? Has Nelson been injured?
No, but he fits a role. He fits a role.
Not a role that works for this team.
So you're going to move on from him in the summer?
If we're not going to play him, then he has to move. It's the same thing I said about a lot of our players. Why are we keeping these players? Like, we signed in Kedia, and we know we can't use him. No matter what he's done, I was like, this is not going to work because we're not going to play him when we need him. And we've seen it now. Nelson, you re-sign him and you don't play him. All right.
I like Reese. I think he does add value to this team. His pace when he comes on, he presses.
Yep.
I'm an ESR fan, but man, I'll tell you what, ESR's injury history right now, he's just can't stay healthy, and I think that's what's really kind of killed him as far as his long-term longevity for this club is his inability to stay healthy. And you got people like Havertz coming in that don't miss a game, and Rice doesn't miss a game, and like we just got there comes a point where your availability matters just as much as your ability. And I think you made a good point. Maybe it was on Ryan's stream that you'd be willing to take a lesser quality player just to have someone that's available. Maybe it was on. I don't remember what show it was, but you brought up the point. I think it's an excellent point. I just like Reese.
Yeah, we just don't have. We need availability now. We have a solid team. We need some decent players. So Alonso, we were just talking there. Emile Smith-Rowe, Nelson, you see any future where they actually would be able to contribute to this team?
Yeah. Wow. I read where Arteta is trying to maybe baby Emile Smith-Rowe from coming back like he did Martinelli a couple years ago. But it really is a shame that it didn't work out for ESR so far because he's been hurt so much. And you ask yourself, well, it's the same thing what happened with Jack Wilshere and Abu Diaby and all those guys. They had great talent, but could never really stay healthy. And this is really a shame because back, like Spencer had said, back to that 2020, 21-22 season, you thought, wow, this player could really be something special. And, it's a shame because the way Arteta plays, you could easily see ESR and Odegaard play both level 8 positions, one on the left, one on the right, if not the left wing. So his injuries have caused him to miss his development as well as some games. Though if I were to pick any which one not to sell, it would be ESR. I still believe in him. I say it's crazy, but I still like the guy. But yeah, Indian Kedia needs to go. As a player like that, having that number means a lot to us Arsenal fans. and the wages he's on, you would think that he'd be more motivated and have some urgency to do better. And to me, coming from this coming into this season, I thought for sure that was the position to lose as far as the starting striker position goes, the number 9. He hasn't grasped that. He hasn't even been near that this year, except for scoring a hat trick against Sheffield United. You know, Gary, it would be something special if he scored that against Tottenham or City or Liverpool or even Aston Villa, but he can't do that. You can't even score a goal against those teams. So Reece Nelson, we all know he's been hurt a lot as well, but there's potential there as well. That's what sucks, is that Arteta doesn't use him enough to be the backup to Saka. And, he scored some great goals last year when he needed them, but he still hasn't done that this year. He hasn't scored a goal yet. So, and Ramsdale, I think Ramsdale he could have had a future here this year, but I think Arteta would choose Raya every Sunday and Saturday and Tuesday, Wednesday. That's just how it is now. And Ramsdale is just a good goalkeeper to have if Raya gets hurt or whatever happens to him. So, I think Arsenal are in a pickle to see who they could sell. I would even add Vieira to that mix because Vieira hasn't done much either. He's been hurt, but there's quality. There's a lot of quality there as well. So you're going to sell some players with talents and quality, and they're still young. So it's kind of hard to see how Arsenal would sell them because, like you said, Gary, in the past, Arsenal don't do enough to sell the players. They don't even play them enough. So what that means is that they're going to probably sell the players at a price that we don't agree with. So there's another issue as well. So yeah, I mean, if I were to pick one, it'd be ESR. Just give them maybe 2 more years to see how it goes. But like we said, we don't have time for that. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with that.
Yeah, and I mean, partly I kind of agree with some of what you're saying, but also I can kind of agree with this as well from Sam. For me, also, I think Arsenal's moved on as well. When Martinelli was injured and he was on his way back, I think the team isn't where they are today. So there was patience. They could afford to wait. One, because they didn't go out and find anybody else, but also they could afford to wait. Now I think we've established ourselves and we have a style of play, and we've got a solid 11, and players can't keep up. You can't hold on to them any. There is loyalty and the nostalgia of keeping your players, but at some point the team has moved on. They're not where they are. They can't wait for some of these players to get to a particular point in their careers. It might not happen, and if it does, you still sometimes can't wait. We can't afford to wait for now. I'm like looking at it. Nelson still has less minutes than Emil Sofro. He's played 4 more games, but he still has 40 minutes less than him played. I mean, it's not much, but 200 minutes in a season for Nelson in the Premier League, I don't think that's kind of where you want to see your career when you're like, what is he? Nelson's 24. He probably deserves more minutes, and we're not going to give it to him based on what we've seen so far. So Nelson needs to, I mean, also Rose 23. I mean, at some point, these players need to move on. When I talk about players and they're young, and when they get to hit their peak, they're usually hitting their peak, some people say, around 24, 25. If you can't get more than 200 minutes when you're 23, 24, I don't know if you're going to get the minutes. You're not going to hit your peak playing every day. And that's kind of where they are. So, they've probably been better off going out on loan, get more minutes, get back into some sort of form before they come back. But Arsenal hasn't done that with them. One, because they've been injured. Nelson, I think it sounded like they had to get a reason for him. But, yeah, I think, like you said, there's a lot of players that I think couldn't go this season. And it's more because the team they need more answers than questions. Vieira, lots of questions. Nelson, I think we already got our answer. Eddie Nketiah, we see now. the answers aren't good for him. And Emile Soufreau, we don't see enough of him. So that's how that goes for me. I know we rambled on about so we kind of went through everything. I think as far as Arteta, I think Arteta did really well in this game. The way he set up the team, and I think the way he's got them playing. He's able to go to his bench for whatever reasons he needs, and he's able to get something out of those players. When he brings on his subs, they come in with it sounds like a plan, and we're able to see, like, we don't see the drop off at all these days. I don't think when we bring on certain players, we still see kind of the same things, and hopefully we continue to see that as those players get healthy. So we'll find out what happens tomorrow. Martinelli, as Moss said, was on crutches, so he's likely not going to play. Then again, he might be on crutches, so they can take a lot of the pressure off of that foot, and maybe it's part of the healing process. So you never know. But before we continue on, and Tayyib talking about berries, I don't know. But Stan, the man, has joined us. Welcome to the show. Says hello, ladies. So yeah. So next game up, Porto. You know, the biggest game I say is the next one. Spencer, here we go. We got Porto coming to town. I don't know about you, but hopefully Arteta decides to play Arsenal football and not let's just try and stop whatever they're trying to do and forget about what we can do best. So talk to me about your thoughts on the Porto game.
I think I brought it up earlier, but you need to get the ship righted sooner rather than later, and that means put 2 or 3 goals in the first half. Don't allow Porto to be tied on aggregate in the 65th, 70th minute, because they will start time wasting. And it's going to be incumbent on the crowd tomorrow to make sure that, the minute a Porto player gets the ground, kind of like the Newcastle game, the minute Trippier hit the ground, the whole stadium just started booing. So, it's about the intensity, put the best team out there, score goals, get it over with, right the wrongs that happened in Porto, and advance to the next round. Tomorrow is really it. And I know the league we got going on there, that's, we're first there. We control our own destiny in the league, but I think you critically have to keep winning in both competitions to keep the momentum going. The more games, the more cycles, the more repetitions. And this is just all go for it this year. Why not win both? But tomorrow's the goal, and I expect us to win. I expect it to be a close 2-0 victory for Arsenal. Cool. That's what I expect.
I heard you. One thing that you said, which I think is why I get upset when we get knocked out of the domestic cups, whether it's the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup, is basically what you just said. We need to continue to maintain our performance and our competitiveness and whatnot. And when we get kicked out of those games, we don't play. So yeah, it might look good on our schedule that we don't play as many games as like a Liverpool or a City, but we're not playing those games. So, you aren't match fit basically when you don't do that. So for me, I think that's why coming into this season, I'll say it again, that's like I said when we started, coming into this season, my projections for the team were a semi or a final in one of the domestic cups, finishing outside the group, making it, winning the group, or, actually making it past the group stage and finishing in the top 3. Because I think for me, that's how you can build something for the long term, right? That's how I feel like we need to work so that because right now we have no games for those players that need minutes, right? If we had a domestic cup still going on, they would probably get some of those minutes, because we wouldn't play all of our players. And guess what? They would be ready for Premier League and Champions League games when it was required. So for me, that's why I feel like when people go, "Oh, it's all right, we got knocked out of Carabao Cup," I kind of feel like the big teams like to play in those things. I think it keeps the team fresh, and I mean fresh in the sense that everybody's ready to go and they don't get stale sitting on the bench. So
yeah, I think that's 100% accurate. Like if you talk about the minutes not being there for Nelson, Vieira, and all these guys, you keep going in those domestic cups, you can you find minutes for those guys, and that continues to allow them to develop to decide whether you think they're worth holding on to or not, right? Because, this is the big issue, I think, in the league where you don't see the guys get the minutes is the lack of trust. But then if you don't focus in on the Carabao Cup, and the FA Cup was just the luck of the draw. You drew Liverpool. It is what it is. Should have won that game. You didn't. You screwed up. But the Carabao Cup game, that's where you can really, because a lot of those games are so early, you can get 3 or 4 really good games in for Nelson and Smith Rowe. And then also what you do there is you're also highlighting these guys and making them more expensive in the transfer market. So, and I think the transfer business that Arsenal are going to do at this point going forward is going to be for big name players. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be for onesie twosies and, maybe this guy's a youth project. I think this team is past the youth project stage, and it's going to be a very interesting transfer window. Obviously enjoy the season. We get finished up and try to win the title, win the Champions League, whatever. But to see who goes in and who comes and who stays, I think that's going to be rather interesting. So
very true. Very true. All right, Alonzo. I think we're talking about the Porto game, right? Tell me about the Porto game.
Yeah, since the first leg there at Porto, I think we've only gotten stronger as far as goal differential and scoring goals and finding ways to score goals. I think, whenever you add that, I think, maybe having guys like Zinchenko injured and Gabriel Jesus injured is probably the best thing that could have happened at Arsenal, really. Think about how defensively gotten better. Jesus is no longer quote unquote ball hogging all the time and trying to get his shot off and it going in the other direction and not hitting the net. Kind of shows you that, yeah, they were good for us last year, but this year we're on a different level as far as, mixing things up and all that. But, I think it's kind of hard playing these competitions with a younger squad, trying to find their way and getting used to playing in the dominating the Premier League now. We're playing at home, which we're kind of good at. We've been great this year. So, I think it's a different story. It'll be a different story come tomorrow and us winning the game, or Arsenal winning the game out there. And it's different because you're finding a better Arsenal squad than we played them at their place. And right now they're in their zone. They're playing better. Like I said, they're finding ways to score goals, not just a goal, but goals from all over the place. It seems like whether it be a center back scoring from a corner kick, or Kai Havertz scoring from a header, or Declan Rice scoring from outside the box. You're seeing these goals coming from different places where in the beginning of the year we struggled to score goals, and the score line was maybe 1-0 or 2-0 from the scoring the last goal at the end of the game. So you're seeing a better squad, not only from a month ago, but from the start of the season. And Porto are a good team defensively. So they set up very well last game to control the tempo, and I think we're going to see a better team this time around at home.
Yep, I hope so. And there was a comment you said, but I can't remember what it is now. So, Mr. Tom. Oh yeah, Mr. Tom. We're talking about the. We got a championship game tomorrow. Our biggest game. Of the season.
What game tomorrow?
Champions League. You ever heard of that? Have you?
Not what you said before. That's not what you said though. You said we've got a championship game tomorrow.
I didn't say championship. I might say champions.
Nah, you said championship.
Then again, anyways, championship game tomorrow.
Just made me wonder where it all went wrong for Arsenal if that was the case.
Yeah.
Players are going to do it as a championship game tomorrow because it's win or go home.
There you go. So it's like I said, I think the rest of these games are just, for me, final. So Arteta has to find a way to to try to. I don't know who that's to.
To me.
But I think, Mr. Tom, Arsenal needs to treat all these games from here on out. We've got 11 finals at least. and we should need to try to win all 11. You know, if we win all 11, that means we're gonna hopefully get. If we win the next one, we'll get another 2 matches. So, so let's do it. Try and get as many games as we can on our schedule. So, Mr. Tom, talk to me about Arsenal tomorrow. You know, playing at home. We've looked good in the league, Champions League, knockout game.
I do think there was a lot of looking past Porto before the first leg, which in hindsight was probably a mistake. I
Who do
mean,
you think-
to be
who do you
fair,
think- who do you think
the
was
fans
doing that?
don't play the matches, but still. But at the same time, you should win tomorrow, because the reality is, I bet you paid more for your squad than they paid for theirs. And unfortunately, the reality is, in any individual 90 minutes, anything can happen. But generally, over time, the team that spent the most money on their players tends to win. Generally speaking.
True. Very true.
If that weren't the case, why have Man City won the league 4 out of 5 years? Sort of thing like that. But generally speaking, I still think you'll win tomorrow. Obviously, the longer it takes you to score the first goal, the harder it will actually be to get the required number of goals. And I know that sounds like a Michael Owen-ish type of quote, like really obvious. But you know how the game will play out. Like, they're going to push further and further back the longer the game goes, surely.
Oh, yeah. That's why we cannot wait. We cannot wait.
There's no away goals rule for them to like gun nick and then sit back on. So if they go 1-0 up, you still need 3 goals.
Yeah, we got it.
We
have to have a 2-goal lead before anything happens. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
no, I hear you. No, that's why Arsenal has to come out the gate fast.
Yeah, exactly.
Very fast.
If you score first and early, you'll win 4-1 on aggregate.
Yes. No, for sure. No.
I'm not saying that to be arrogant or anything against Porto. Just the reality of it is that the earlier you get through, the more difficult it'll be for them to think they'll get something.
True. Yeah. No, we have to come out fast, and by the time they look around, if we're up a goal in the aggregate, then that's good for us, because that means they're gonna have to come out their shell a little bit, and then we know what we can do there. But we have to force. That's what it was. Alonso was talking about the way we've been scoring, and we have more than enough ways to score against whatever Porto brings. Set pieces, crosses to our tall players, breaking them down. I think one thing that Arteta needs to do is he needs to let these guys go when they do make a turnover midfield. Let them if they counter, let them just go take it all the way, and the team as a whole will just push up with it as well. Just pushing the ball back and resetting sometimes, I think, is playing right into Porto's hands. They want us to do that. When we have an opportunity to break, everybody should attack and counter quickly, and catch them on with their heels down, catch them flat-footed sometimes. Too bad we don't have Martinelli, but I think as a team we could build up, and with some nice passing from Erdegaard, maybe we can do some things. So
why don't you have Martinelli?
Because he's in crutches right now, and more than likely he might not play tomorrow.
If he's on crutches, he's definitely not going to play tomorrow, I would have thought.
Yeah, well, the only reason why they bring that up is because one of the Arsenal women was in crutches the day before she went out and started and had a really good game. So, like I said, it might be to just take the pressure off the foot, while it heals it. Because I think it's just a cut on the top of the foot. So,
yeah, I mean,
it's not a muscle thing or anything like that. So, the less movement, the faster the healing, probably. So that's kind of what we're hoping. but he wouldn't have played. So we'll see. We'll see. But we are coming up on almost 90 minutes here, so we are going to try to get out of here. Everybody.
No, I was asked a question by Mr. Stan.
I don't even know if I should give you any time.
Why are you going to do Stan like that?
It's more you. It's more you. So as we head out of here, I'll let you have your say. But Mr. Tom, got a question for you.
I don't think you will win the league, but I'm not saying that to be horrible or that. I'd be very pleased if you won the league. I like my friends to be happy. However, the reality is you're against the juggernaut of Manchester City, and 115 charges ain't going to get accounted for before the end of the season, I would have thought. So you've still got to play against them in football. And unfortunately, I don't think it'll swing your way. If I'm wrong, fuck it, I'm wrong, and you'll all be happy about it. But I do think you'll get second.
You think City will win?
I do, but more because of the fact that they have the experience of the run-in. They've won a number of these run-ins. I could well be wrong. Like, I'm not saying definitely, but to answer the question, who do I think will win it? I think Man City will win it.
True. No, I mean, I think the experience goes both ways. I mean, they've lost some experience. We've gained some experience. They were the healthier team against Liverpool, and they struggled. We're getting healthier by the minute. I mean, Martinelli is a little bit of a setback. So everything you say, yeah, I think I've heard that multiple times. People say, City's been there, done that. But this is not the same type of season like those, and they haven't clicked yet. They've got 10 games to do it, and maybe that's all they need. But they clicked earlier in most of the seasons where they've went on and run and won. So we'll see that. Everything isn't playing out the same way as it's always done. So it's not the same. Mr. Tom, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
4 out of 5 times, though, hasn't it?
No, it hasn't, but it looks different. It looks even different than it did last season, right? Last season they were healthy most of the time, all right? This season not so much. So
yeah,
we'll
you had
see.
to be very unlucky to not be healthy with that 6-week break in the middle of the season.
Yeah, I'm just talking about when they clicked. Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see, as you say. We'll see. It's like I said, it's totally different. 10 games left in the season is a little bit different, right? So here we go. Mr. Tom, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Yeah, I just think as a neutral, it would be irresponsible of me to say not Man City.
Yep. Yeah, but, no, I'm talking about we got to go.
All right, yeah, I got what you mean. But I hadn't finished. Anyway, no, seriously, it was really cool of Spencer and Alonso to be so welcoming today.
You're welcome.
I didn't get any of that. I didn't get any of that.
I didn't get any of that. Don't worry. It'll go in the steel trap.
I wasn't part of that list. What's going on? All right.
Well, that's what you extrapolated from that.
That's what I got. That's what I got. Mr. Tom, anything else before you say bye?
Yeah, wait, what? You know what? I forgot to buy a bag of crisps.
Oh. You know what? We'll be on next time, so bring 2 bags of chips.
I can't even use it as an excuse the earlier time because I only found out when you actually went live. I was like, gonna sit down with my sketty bolognese. Yeah, that's right. I said sketty bolognese because I can't speak English, despite the fact that I'm from the place that spawned the fucking language. Anyway, what? So,
say bye-bye.
It's been a long day.
Say bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye, everybody.
All right. Lonzo, you're up next. Anything you want to say before we head out of here?
Actually, I have a request.
No, I'll mute you before you even say it. Don't you dare. My finger is on the button.
Do it.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Don't do it.
Do
no.
It.
No,
Do
don't
it.
even think of it. Stop thinking about
Do
it.
it.
Stop thinking about it. Say bye.
I want to hear from our favorite season 70s and 80s and 90s, sometimes 90s pop star. Real quick, please, Gary.
I'm sorry, everyone. I need to make a quick trip to the bathroom.
This is such crap. I can't believe I'm doing this. Mr. Tom, are you there?
Hey, Alonso! I believe you're my number one fan.
Oh my god. Is that all you
I
got to
am.
say? Hey, you know what? You had songs last time. You got a song for us this time?
No, hee.
Did you see your namesake I think he had a really nice pass today in the Newcastle game. Set up one of his teammates.
I believe he got the opening goal.
Oh, I didn't catch all of that stuff. All right.
I must go now.
All right,
My
say
plan
bye.
is
Yes, get out of here. Bye-bye.
Right.
Lonzo, quick
So,
bye.
thank you guys for tuning in to Gary's show. I appreciate you, Gary, for having me on. Thank you for Spencer and Tom for being on my podcast and chat yesterday. It was pretty cool to have my cousin on the Arsenal Chelsea podcast. Yeah, I just want to do something different, have my family along. So yeah, make sure you guys tune into that. I'm working on Sunday, so I don't know if I'll be able to do a podcast, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, have a good week, everyone, and I hope Arsenal win tomorrow. See you next time.
Yep. And Spencer was he started the day on the floor in the dark, and now he's allowed to sit on a chair in the light. Imagine that.
I migrated. I missed my work from home office, so I was like, let me make sure this chair still works. I wanted to come up here for a little bit, and it's missing me. You know, I got to go to the office again tomorrow, but whatever. But no, thank you everybody for coming by. Thanks for Michael Jackson making an appearance, Alonzo, Tom, Gary. You know, hopefully this.
Welcome.
Hopefully by this time tomorrow night, we're looking forward to a good 21-day break and everything's gone the way it should. Or maybe it's 19 days. But yeah, it's these are the big moments we kind of been looking forward to tomorrow night. So enjoy it. And you know, don't waste the trip, guys, as a wise man used to say. But yeah,
used to say.
No, I appreciate Gary allowing me to come on and put my crappy opinions to you guys and my love for Kai Havertz, and appreciate everybody in the chat. BX, Sam, Assembled. Let's see, Stan the Man, Ray. Who else have I forgotten? Anybody else? And Moss. But yeah, anyway, thanks for coming on. AFC always as well. And you guys take care, and please take care of yourself this week and enjoy the football tomorrow.
Very true. Yes. So I'm gonna say a lot of stuff before we get out of here, but thanks everybody for joining us. Thank you, Spence, Alonzo, and Mr. Tom for being on the show. I appreciate it. I love chatting, talking about whatever. Everything I say is with love, except for Mr. Tom. And sorry, did I say it out loud? Sorry, I didn't even say it out loud.
Yeah. That's absolutely fair.
Well, thank you guys for joining with me tonight. We'll do this again on the next one. Everybody in the chat, I think Spencer named you by name. Thank you again for joining us. We'll do this. I know you guys have fun with us chatting. We'll do it again. Hopefully, like you said, 24 hours from now, we are laughing going into the international break. In terms of, and hopefully it's better than the what's going on in the Cowboys postseason, trade window right now. The Eagles have picked up a running back. The Commandos, I call them the Commandos, have also picked up a running back. Cowboys have let their running back go for a crisp 2.2 mil.
Wait,
yes.
hang on. Explain. I thought there weren't like monetary transfers.
It's a trade, and because of there's a, I don't know how it works, but there's
So
money that comes back.
basically, they made an offer. He rejected it, and he'll go somewhere else.
Didn't he go to the Titans?
I forgot. He went to. Yeah, I think so. That's why Henry might be coming to the Cowboys. I would have liked Saquon though, because he can do a lot more than just run. So there you go. But anyways, that's how it's going over here. We'll see you guys on the next one. And I did find I created a banner. We didn't put it up there, but right now Arsenal's magic number, for those who know anything about like in basketball and stuff, if we hit 30 points and continue to grow our goal difference, we will win the league. So we got 10 games left. We win all of them, we win.
I like magic numbers.
Huh?
I like magic numbers.
In England, they have to have 2 magic numbers because it's not just about points.
Think how big that March 31st game is. That's a 6-point game.
Yeah.
What's happening on that day, sir?
Well, that's Easter Sunday, but it's the day the Arsenal play Manchester City and hopefully take all 3 points.
So is that game on Sunday, Spencer?
Yep.
So my job, we're closed for Easter Sunday, and I bring that up because I'm able to cancel that request because I was watching NASCAR, but I didn't know it was on Easter Sunday. It's pretty cool.
Yep.
I've loosely working it out. I actually think we're going to have a special live. It's a simulcast on the 6th of April. Hang on, let me double check. It's the Saturday of that week. Yeah, it's the 6th of April, where the trip will be going on, and I believe it will also cross over into live NXT wrestling because they always have it on the Saturday of the Saturday afternoon in America. That week, because WrestleMania is 2 nights, so they can't do it in the evening like they usually would. So it will have to be.
When's WrestleMania again? April 6th?
6th and 7th.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
You said it April. Easter's on the 7th?
No, Easter's on the 31st.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
They won't put it on Easter. That's
no,
madness.
the 7th is one of the best days of ever. Let's just say that.
The 7th of April
is one of the best days ever.
It's your birthday, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Your birthday's on WrestleMania Sunday.
So what can I say, man? What can I say?
Well, that's just ruined WrestleMania.
There you go. But anyways, like I said, this is a magic number. We're going to get out of here. As I said, NFL trade window sucks for my team right now. But we'll be back. We'll do this again. Thank you again for joining us. Everybody say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And we will be out of here. And see ya. That is not the right exit. Let's try to write it. All right, everybody. Everybody, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.